A female spy deliberately released a balloon from her hand and then used a remote control disguised as a camera to guide the balloon towards the Kremlin. As the balloon reached the ventilation duct on the roof, she immediately pressed a switch, causing the balloon to explode. The controller attached to the balloon fell into the duct. Moments later, two men dressed in military uniforms entered the Kremlin. However, the guards stopped them, noticing their unfamiliar faces, and requested their passes. John, pretending to be calm, had no choice but to hand over his ID to the guard. When the guard scanned the ID, the system didn't display their information. Jack quickly checked and realized the data upload was not yet complete. The controller was the device meant to modify the system. Just as the situation grew awkward, the system data finally finished uploading. Jack asked the guard to scan the ID again. Under John's threatening gaze, the guard reluctantly scanned it once more. Fortunately, they successfully deceived the guard without incident. The two men immediately headed to the basement corridor. They took out a miniature camera to observe the situation at the end of the corridor. While the guard was answering a phone call, they used a sound transmitter to send the sound of water drops towards the guard. Hearing the unusual noise, the guard quickly got up to investigate. Seizing the opportunity, the two men unfolded a curtain to cover the corridor and used a projector to display the scene behind them onto the curtain. When the guard returned to his position, the projector's camera could capture his gaze in real time, adjusting the image to the appropriate angle no matter where the guard looked. The two men quickly pushed the curtain towards the weapons room. Upon reaching the designated location, John took out a decryption device and swiftly opened the door. However, when he opened the cabinet containing the nuclear weapon launcher, he discovered it was filled with videotapes. Realizing something was amiss, the two men rapidly fled. Shortly after, another guard arrived in the corridor. Since the camera captured two pairs of eyes, the image on the curtain began to jump erratically. The guard immediately ordered the alarm to be sounded. Meanwhile, John, who had escaped from the Kremlin, noticed a suspicious person carrying a briefcase. Suspecting the briefcase might contain a nuclear weapon, he chased after the individual. Suddenly, the ground shook, and the Kremlin behind him exploded.